Have you ever been confused about how to properly update your user interface in Swift? It can be tricky, especially when you're trying to decide between DispatchQueue.main.async and DispatchQueue.main.sync. If that's you, stick around, because today we're breaking down the differences and helping you choose the right one. I totally get it. Many developers have faced the dilemma of choosing between async and sync methods. It's a common question that can lead to some frustrating moments in coding. You're definitely not alone in this. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, what is the difference between DispatchQueue.main.async and DispatchQueue.main.sync, and when should I use each? This is a great question that many developers ponder, so let's dive into it. To understand the difference, we need to look at how each method operates. DispatchQueue.main.async allows you to schedule a task to be executed on the main queue without blocking the current thread. On the other hand, DispatchQueue.main.sync will execute the task immediately on the main queue, blocking the current thread until the task is completed. And don't go anywhere. At the end of this video, I will share a quick tip on how to decide which method to use in your projects. To understand the difference between DispatchQueue.main.async and DispatchQueue.main.sync, let's start with DispatchQueue.main.async. This method schedules a task to be executed on the main queue without blocking the current thread. In contrast, DispatchQueue.main.sync executes a task on the main queue and blocks the current thread until the task is completed. This can lead to issues if the main queue is already busy. So, when should the user use each method? Use DispatchQueue.main.async when the user wants to perform UI updates without interrupting the flow of the application. On the other hand, DispatchQueue.main.sync should be used cautiously. It is suitable for situations where the user needs to ensure that a task is completed before proceeding, but only if the main queue is not busy. In summary, the user should prefer DispatchQueue.main.async for most UI updates to maintain responsiveness, while DispatchQueue.main.sync should be reserved for specific cases where blocking is acceptable. Fun fact. Did you know that the main queue is the only queue that can update the UI in iOS? That's why understanding async and sync is so crucial for smooth user experiences. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user explains that the difference between sync and async methods lies in how they block the calling thread. The sync method blocks the thread it is called from, while async does not. They emphasize that even though DispatchQueue.main.async is an asynchronous call, if it contains heavy operations, it can still freeze the UI because those operations are executed serially on the main thread. Here's the tip I promised. When in doubt, prefer using DispatchQueue.main.async. It helps avoid potential deadlocks and keeps your app responsive. And there you have it. Now you know the difference between DispatchQueue.main.async and DispatchQueue.main.sync. Remember, choosing the right method can make a big difference in your app's performance. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.